So good day everyone. This is the continuation sa report po ni Ira Misolas, Module 11, Region 8, Eastern Visayas Region, and Region 9, Zamboanga Peninsula Region. So history. After the defeat of Magellan expedition of the Battle of Mactan by Lapu-Lapu, King Philip II of the Spain sent Miguel Lopez de Legazpi in 1543 and 1565 to colonize the island for Spain. So subsequently, the Visayas region and many kingdoms began to converting the Christianity and adopting the Western culture. By the 18th and 19th centuries, the effects of colonization on various ethnic groups turned sour, and revolutions such as those of the Francisco de Godoy began to emerge. So various personalities who fought against the imperial Spanish colonial government arose with the archipelago. So among the notable ones are Graciano Lopez Haina and Martin Delgado from Iloilo, Aniceto Lacson, Leon Quilat, and Diego de la Venia from Negros. So Venancio Jaco Salim Fernandez from Cebu, and two personalities from Bohol by the name of Tamblot, who led the Tamblot uprising in 1621 to 1622, and Francisco de Godoy, the leader of the Bohol Rebellion that lasted from 1744 and 1829. So on May 23, 2005, Palawan urbanized, including the highly urbanized capital city of the Puerto Princesa, was transferred from Mimaropa to the Western Visayas under the executive number 429 signed by the Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, so who was the president at the year. So however, Palaweños criticized the move, so citing a lack of the consultation. So with the most residents of Puerto Princesa and all Palawan municipalities, but one preferring to stay in Mimaropa. So consequently, administrative number 129 was issued in 19 August 2005 that the implementation of EO 429 be held in abeyance, so pending approval by the President of its implementation plan. So the Philippine Commission on Election reported the 2010 Philippines general election result for Palawan as a part of the Region 4B result. So as a June 30, 2011, so the abeyance was still in effect. So with the Palawan and its capital city remaining under the Mimaropa. So on 29 May 2015, the twin province of Negros Occidental, including the high urbanized capital of city of Bacolod and Negros Oriental, were joined together to form the Negros Island region under the Executive Order Number 183, signed by the President Benigno Aquino III. It separated both. So the former province in its capital city from Western Visayas and the latter province of Central Visayas. So on 9 August 2017, President Rodrigo Duterte signed the Executive Order Number 38, so revoking the Executive Number 183 signed by the President Benigno Aquino III on May 29, 2015, due to the reason of the lack of fund to fully establish the NIR, according to Benjamin Diakno, so the Secretary of Budget and Management. So culture and tradition and beliefs. So historical documents written in 1907 by Visayan historian Pedro Alcantara Monteclaro in his book Maragtas tell the story of the 10 leaders who escaped from the tyranny of Raha Makatunaw from Borneo and came to the islands of Panama. So a contemporary theory based on the study of genetic markers in present day's populations is that the Austronesian people from Taiwan populated the larger island of Luzon and headed south to the Visayas and Mindanao. So and then to the Indonesia and Malaysia, then to Pacific islands, and finally to the islands of Madagascar. So language. So languages spoken at home are primarily Visayan languages. So despite the usually misconception that these are the dialect of a single macro language. So major language include Hiligaynon or Ilonggo in much of Western Visayas, Cebuano in Central Visayas, and Waray in Eastern Visayas. So other dominant languages are Aklanon, Kanaraya, and Kapisnon. So Filipino, the national language is based on Tagalog, so is widely understood but seldom used. So English, another official language, is more widely known and it's prepared as the second language, most especially among the urbanized Visayans. So for the instance, English rather than Tagalog is frequently used in schools, public science, and mass media. So food, so ito po yung mga food nila. Tourist spot, ang example nito yung Kalangaman Islands. So Canigao Islands, Sila Islands, Kapul Island, Higatangan Island. So ito naman po yung festival. So Pintados Festival, a performer of the Pintados Festival raises her arms in jubilation while street dancing in Tacloban City. So Kasadyaan Festival, a young dancer carries the image of Holy Child during a performance of the Kasadyaan Festival in Tacloban. So in contingent of the Tagub Festival of Ormoc City, defecting of the city resources, so the pineapple performance during the competition. So the rest of the festival are about the origin to town name, like the Buyagon Festival of Abuyog, Tangka-Tangka Festival of Tangkaan in Padre Burgos, Binibayan Festival of Baybay City, Ibid Festival of Ibiran, Hununangon Festival of Hinunangon, Lilo-Lilo Festival of Liluan, and Kaplag Festival of Mahaplag. So there are 7 cities that help the economy of region grow stronger. So these are the Borongan City, Baybay City, Ormoc City, Tacloban, Calbayog, Catbalogan, and Maasin City. So natakal na sa inyo ni Aramisolas ang Borongan, Baybay, Ormoc City. So sa part ko naman ay ang Tacloban, Calbayog, Catbalogan, at Maasin City. So punta naman tayo sa Tacloban. So Tacloban, officially the city of Tacloban, is the first-class high urbanized city in the Eastern Visayas region of the Philippines. So the city is autonomous from the province of Leyte, although it serves as its provincial capital. So history, so Tacloban was the first known as the Kabatok, an allusion to the first inhabitants, so Kabatok. So they established their dwelling in the vicinity of the present-day Santo Niño Church. So others who came later were Gumoda, Haraging, and Huray, who erected their own settlements in nearby sites. So Hurao domains is the hills where the city hall now sits. So the combined settlements acquired the name Kankabatok, meaning Kabatok's property. So food. So when it comes to the local delicacy, Tacloban City may be the best place for any travelers to explore and, of course, buy pasalubong from. So there are plenty of local delicacies this city has to offer, and we've listed her 5 the best ones of the every traveler should try. So isa na po sa mga example nito ay ang binagul. So made with the glutinous rice mixed with the taro, pudding, and nuts. Binagul is Tacloban most famous native delicacy. So moron is quite a staple of every household in Tacloban. This delicious chocolate delicacy is known for its soft and sticky texture. So familiar naman po kayo sa bukayo. So you'll find the bukayo in every part of the country. However, this sweet treat made the coconut strips mixed with the brown sugar is a native delicacy in Tacloban City. So Suman Latik. So Suman Latik is one of the most famous Filipino delicacy, and Suman Latik is the version of it that native in Tacloban City. So roscas, so is the delicacy that came from Barugulete. So it is made of flour, sugar, egg, anise, and shortening. So these cookies have different taste because of the added spice. So it is akin to the fortune cookie. So ito naman po yung mga list beautiful destination, best places to visit in Tacloban City. So San Juanico Bridge, MacArthur Landing Memorial National Park, Santo Niño Shrine, and Romualdez Museum, Tacloban Church, and Calvary Hill, Madonna in Japan, and Kanhurao Hill, downtown Tacloban, Kalangaman Island. So festivals. So the merged celebration of the Pintados Festival and Kasadyan Festival in Tacloban City based on the body painting tradition of the ancient tattooed Pintados warriors. So dancers paint their bodies pattern that resemble armor to represent past warriors. So the festival, officially called Leyte Pintados Kasadyan Festival, and also known as the Festival of Festival, is held annually in January 29, that day of the fest of the Senior Santo Niño de Leyte. So punta naman po tayo sa Calbayog City. So Calbayog City, officially the city of the Calbayog is a first-class component city in the province of Samar, Philippines. So according to the 2020 census, it has a population of 186,960 people. So history, Calbayog began as early of 1600 in settlement called Hibatang by the river bank of the represent Iquino River. So it had 2,000 inhabitants under the spiritual guidance of the certain Jesuit. So Father Ignacio de Hansina. So the place was often visited by flood during the stormy days. So Anislag settlement became unsafe. So the hardy settler left the place in Balotos. So and hastily reached bamboo raft following the river towards the sea. So at Kahumpan, they decided to stop just for a moment, break. Somehow, at the spur of the moment and by the common consent, they settled down the Kahumpan and start life anew. So more settlers came. So some crossed the river to the Sabang. So after a certain period of time, the restless settler moved again and settled at Tabok. So a settlement were directly faced upon the summer sea. So the place was one of the vast swampland which extended from the present Niaga part, where the monument of national hero Dr. Jose Rizal and local heroes Benito Ihadja now stand. Tabuk is the place where the name of Calbayog began. So Tabuk is, legend says, once abandoned with bayog trees. So these were cut down and burned in fuel in make cal lime out of the sea, shell, and coral. So from these two things, the Spaniard called the place Calbayog. So one day, the Guardia Civil asked the name of the place. So the fisherman mistaken the query of another thing. So he answered, tikang kami kan Bayog. So ibig sabihin nun, galing kami sa Bayog. So we came from Bayog. So with the correct query and wrong answer, the Spaniard took the last word. So kan Bayog. So for the name of the settlement. So a lot of tongue twisting and mispronunciation changed originally name of Calbayog. So Republic Act number 328 made Calbayog a city on October 16, 1948, and 1969 RA 328 was repealed by the RA 3879, in act of which revised the city charter. So culture, Calbayog culture history has been associated with the introduction and spread of the Catholicism in the country. So Calbayog started as one of the small settlements in the islands of Samar, an area assigned to the Jesuit of missionaries. So then it was transferred due to the flood to the shore of the Hibatang River whose name it took. So this again, the settlers transferred to the place that they permanently occupied and took the name of Calbayog. So food. So ito naman po yung famous food na matatagpuan sa Calbayog. So isa din po ang ginagul. So a Filipino sweet steamed delicacy of the Waray people made from the mashed giant taro corns, condensed milk, sugar, coconut milk, and egg yolk. So wiri-wiri, a native southern native delicacy, chocolate moron made of rice flour with the chocolate paste, or locally known as the tablea, peanut and browned or organic sugar. Sagmani made of the cassava, gabi or sweet potato cooked with the coconut milk and sugar and coconut meat. So local spot, ito po yung mga spot na matatagpuan natin sa Calbayog. Mawakat Slide, so Mapaso Spring, Calbayog Zipline, and Malahong Ridge Nature Park, Danau Cave, Ginugoan Cave. So festival naman nila is Sarakiki Hadang Festival. It's celebrated in Calbayog City, Western Samar during the primary 7 days stretch of September. So it is featured with an introduction of rogue artists dressed like a chicken and doing the chicken's romance movement. So Sarakiki is a custom move of the Hadang, is the offering, so implies it a customs move offering of the Waray to their divinity or gods. So punta naman po tayo sa Catbalogan City. So Catbalogan City, officially, the city of Catbalogan is a capital of province of Samar, Philippines. So according to 2020 census, it has a population of 106,440 people. It is Samar main commercial, trading, educational, financial, and political center. So the city is the gateway to the region 3 Samar province. So history, Catbalogan was founded on October 15, 1596, so by Spanish Jesuit priest, and became the capital of the entire island of Samar. So on December 31, 1898, during the Philippine Revolution, General Vicente Lucban arrived at Catbalogan and put Samar under the jurisdiction. On January 27, 1900, the Americans captured Catbalogan during the Philippine-American War. So on May 24, 1942, during the World War, Japanese force landed in Barrio Pagdan on the early morning and occupied the capital. So on December 18, 1945, American and Filipino forces liberated Catbalogan from. So on December 31, 1898, so during the Philippine Revolution, General Vicente Lucban arrived in Catbalogan and put Samar under that jurisdiction. So food, naman po yung food ng Catbalogan. On the top of the list are the fried dishes of Catbalogan, so the provincial capital of Samar. These are the bola catalana and tamalos. So bola catalana is the Catbalogan version of embutido. So a Spanish generic term of sausage, so which contains ground meat seasoned with aromatic herbs and spices and wrapped into the skin of the pig intestines. So the local version is wrapped in the leaf lard known as the sensal and ground pork with the spices mixed and slide cooked egg and cheese stick. So tamalos is a variation of tamale. So tamale is a dish of Mexican origin, so which found in its way to the Philippines via Manila, Capulco, Galayon III, which lasted from 1565 to 1815. So the top attraction to visit in Catbalogan are Bangon Falls, St. Bartolomeo the Apostol Church, Central Cave, Bagataw Islands, Bonoan Beach. Festival, so festival na naganap dito ay ang Manaragat Festival. The Manaragat Festival of Catbalogan City honor its patron Saint Bartolomeo, so every 24th of August. So punta naman po tayo sa Maasin City. So Maasin, officially, the city of Maasin is the fourth class component city of capital of the province of Southern Leyte, so Philippines. So according to the 2020 census, it has a population of 87,446 people. It has 70 barangays and located in the western part of the province with the land area of 21,171 hectares. So, in 1522, a Portuguese-born Spanish explorer and navigator, so Ferdinand Magellan and his crew came ashore and celebrated the first Roman Catholic Mass on the island. So, Magellan made peace with the two Filipino rulers, so Raha Kulambo and Raha Siani, so who subsequently were converted to Christianity. So a marker notes that spot of the Limasawa were their blood compact, the friendship of alliance was sealed. So food. So ang food naman ng mga maasin. So Bocarillo is located to Ibarra Maasin City, Sorsogon, Leyte. So it's the food reflect the culture of lifestyle of the people in Maasin City. So food sold the typically intended for consuming outdoors. So bibingka. So familiar naman tayo sa bibingka. So pinaypay na saging in maisan. So local spot. So ito naman po yung mga local spot ng Maasin. So Maasin Cathedral, Maasin. So Our Lady of the Assumption, Maasin. Montesueba Shrine, Maasin. Cagtiwan Falls, Maasin. Dongon Hillside Resort, Maasin. Agas-Agas Zipline, Maasin. Danau Forest Park, Maasin. Napantaw Marine Sanctuary, Padre Burgos, Visayas. Tangkaan Beach, Padre Burgos, Visayas. So Kinagaw Islands, Leyte Islands. So Hindaang Caves and Wild Monkeys, Santa Sofia Beach, Padre Burgos, Visayas. Puting Buhangin Islands, Padre Burgos, Visayas. So festival, so ang festival naman po ng Maasin ay Sakay-Sakay. So is a Visayan word that relates to ride. So ibig sabihin po ng Sakay-Sakay ay to ride, and to comes as no surprise to profession of the Santo Niño is partly done through the convoy of fishing boat bangkas beautifully decorated with colorful flags and flowers. So ito po yung sa mga bangka. So this festival is celebrated on the third Sunday of January and attracts tourists, so city locals, and even the people from the neighboring province. So the colorful celebrations also include games, street dancing competition, and cultural program, and organized by the local government. So thank you. So sana po ay may natutunan kayo sa report namin, and God bless po.